Hello and welcome in. I'm laughing at my cat, Star Fox. I'm Little Red Jam if you're new here. And today we are going to be starting Metal Gear Solid. So many of you recommended this game. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm in my era of just playing all of the games that I didn't get to grow up playing. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited to experience this game that so many of you have raved about. We are going to start with reading the manual. Also, if you've been watching my prior videos, I did not move again. I just moved my setup into a room with air conditioning because I did not think that through previously. And it's summertime, and I was in a small room that did not get good airflow, and it was too hot outside, and it got direct sunlight. And so now I'm in a room with air conditioning. And as you can see, there are shelves in the background. That is where my cat Star Fox will often sleep. So it's just, we get the air conditioning, we get some good sunlight, we get views of my cat Star Fox. And maybe from time to time, my dog Cat sitting on the cushions over here. So hopefully this will work out and be just a nice cozy little background to have for future videos. But that is unrelated to the point that it's time, finally, for Metal Gear Solid. So let's jump in to reading the manual. Tactical espionage action, Metal Gear Solid. I love that this cover art is I feel as though I always came across this sort of filter when I was working in Photoshop, and I was like a mosaic kind of filter, but it's all not really black and white, but very unsaturated. Makes Snake feel so mysterious man. All right, let's dive in. Okay. You are Snake, a government agent on a mission to regain control of a secret nuclear weapons base from terrorist hands. Okay. Confidential. Lightly armed and facing an army of foes, Snake must avoid firefights in order to survive. Okay, so there's some of the stealth, mostly stealth aspects. If Snake can locate them, he can utilize advanced hardware ranging from silenced pistols to ground-to-air missiles. If he can locate them. So that's maybe like if we find those things in the world, then we can use them. But there's a chance that you might not come across them, potentially. Enemies react to sight and sound, so stay quiet and stay in the shadows. I think I'm going to get caught so much. State-of-the-art graphics, textures, transparencies, models, and explosions. Taut, gripping story with multiple endings, a truly cinematic experience. Okay, multiple endings. That's kind of fun. Multiple endings. Huh. I wonder if it'll be obvious what that can come from, if it's maybe from a failure of missions in some way. We still don't really have a good view of Snake in any of these. The disc 1, disc 2. What is Metal Gear? Metal Gear first went on sale in Japan on July 7th, 1987. That game was born with the notion, fighting alone does not make a game. Stealth is more important. More important? Huh. Interesting statement. Metal Gear had a huge impact on gamers and manufacturers alike. Not only was it a new and original game design, but its story, full of plot twists and intricate human drama, garnished praise from the critics and made it into a huge international hit. The sequel, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, released later, also received high praise. The release of Solid Snake would mark the last time that Metal Gear appeared on any platform. Nevertheless, the Metal Gear series continued to be widely discussed as a visionary masterpiece. Today, the true vision of Metal Gear will be unveiled to fans across the world in the form of Metal Gear Solid, only for PlayStation game console. Okay, so I didn't know this. So there were Metal Gear games before Metal Gear Solid that were different. Setup. Got our controls. Okay, let's start with the buttons. X button, crawl button, press to duck down. Once ducked, press the directional buttons to crawl. So it doesn't seem like you have to press and hold. It seems like you just press. Press to duck down. I wonder if that's going to bite me in the butt, because a lot of times, sometimes I'll accidentally press stuff and then I'll be ducked and then I will have to press it again to unduck, I guess. Circle button, normal, punch and kick or action. Back against the wall. Tap on wall. See special controls. Back against the wall. It's probably part of the stealthing. Weapon button, weapon equipped. Use weapon. Is it barehanded, throw, or choke? Okay, so you do have to make sure it's not going to auto-equip your weapon. You have to equip it if you want to use it, barehanded, throw, or choke. We can throw things. I bet that's going to help with stealth. Choke. It's kind of gnarly. First person button enters first person view mode. See camera modes. Then we got the directional button, normal, run, first person view mode, adjust view. Okay, so that's kind of probably how we can look around a little bit easier without moving. Select button, activate codec. Start button, pause. R1, weapon quick change. R2, equip weapon. L1, item quick change. L2, equip item. So we're going to have items as well as weapons. All right. Oh, the analog. I guess that's technically what I have. Is this any different, though? This looks the same. But then left stick is just the running as well. Same with the directional buttons. Right stick not used. PS1. I'm like, how am I going to move around and look around? This might take me a little while to get used to the controls. I'm going to try my best. Cast. I'm so bad with names. I'm not going to recognize any of these. Liquid Snake. Reading these might be kind of spoilers for what characters might show up. Prologue. Outer Heaven Revolt, 1995. Oh, okay, this is great. We have a lot of lore here. A small but powerfully armed nation called Outer Heaven emerges from deep within South Africa. Outer Heaven is an interesting name. I feel like maybe that says a lot. Small but powerfully armed. NATO learns that they are designing a nuclear-equipped walking battle tank. Like a mech? Called Metal Gear. It's called Metal Gear, the weapon. Huh. And they send in one of their best agents, Grey Fox. NATO sends in one of their best agents, Grey Fox. But he is taken hostage, and they are forced to send in the newest member of Foxhound, Solid Snake. Okay, so I'm guessing Foxhound is like a specific group, like a special forces group. I wonder if Grey Fox was a part of Foxhound? They both have Fox in it, so I wouldn't be surprised. Are they all animal names? He rescues Grey Fox and forces the surrender of Outer Heaven. And at that time, Snake was a new member. As Solid Snake escapes, he is confronted by one man. It's Foxhound's commander, Big Boss. Good name. Not an animal name, though. But Big Boss. Makes sense. It seems that Outer Heaven was a mercenary company and Big Boss was the mastermind behind it. What? Corruption. Big Boss had intentionally chosen his most inexperienced agent, Solid Snake, thinking he would fail, but he seriously miscalculated. After a fierce battle, Snake defeats Big Boss as Outer Heaven burns around him. Whoa, I bet that was epic. Okay. Let's go, Snake. Zanzibar Riot, 1999. In 1999, Dr. Keo Marv, inventor of the oil refining microbe Oilix, was taken hostage by Zanzibar, a heavily armed nation in Central Asia ruled by a minority ethnic group. Zanzibar was planning to gain political and military hegemony over a world suffering under the cruel weight of a worldwide energy crisis. The world was suffering under an energy crisis. Zanzibar took Dr. Marv hostage, who was the inventor of an oil refining microbe, because they wanted to gain political and military hegemony. Okay. Roy Campbell, commander of the Foxhound, a new commander, called Solid Snake, now in retirement, back to active duty to infiltrate Zanzibar and recover Dr. Marv. So Snake, I mean, probably 4 years in active duty in a special forces group after what Snake experienced at Outer Heaven. I'm sure retirement after 4 years, yeah, would be necessary. Solid Snake made it past Zanzibar's impressive steel wall and penetrated deep into its interior. Once inside, he destroyed Metal Gear, the mech, which had been completed after being transported from Outer Heaven, and defeated Grey Fox, former member of Foxhound and now leader of the Zanzibar Mercenary Corps. Wait, so Big Boss was corrupt. Outer Heaven / Big Boss took Grey Fox hostage, was making Metal Gear. And then Grey Fox went and became leader of Zanzibar, recovered Metal Gear, and finished it. Former member of Foxhound. Wild. He was also successful in retrieving the Oilix manufacturing process. Finally, he would once again meet his destiny with the man who was pulling the strings in Zanzibar. Big Boss! Big Boss is back! He had survived Outer Heaven and created Zanzibar in order to make a world rife with conflict and war. A world in which soldiers such as himself would always have a place. Oh, interesting. Wow. That's tough. After defeating Big Boss for the second and final time, Snake gave up on war and retired to the peaceful Alaskan wilderness. Snake, wait, did it say where Snake was before? Just now in retirement. Snake was like, I am getting far away from here. Send me to Alaska. Don't let me be taken out of retirement again. That was from Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. Wow, Snake's done a lot. And gonna do even more, presumably. The dawn of the new millennium. The 21st century. The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago is attacked and captured by Next Generation Special Forces led by members of Foxhound. Fox everywhere. Oh, we have like the logo of Foxhound or the sigil. Probably just logo. Special Force Group. But wait. Okay, a nuclear weapons disposal facility is attacked and captured by Next Generation Special Forces led by members of Foxhound. So did all of the Foxhound group go corrupt, or is the nuclear weapons disposal facility? That doesn't feel like something that would be run by something bad. So they all go corrupt, attacked, and captured. The terrorists have secured hundreds of nuclear warheads, and they're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss. Okay, so the terrorists, they say the terrorists, so that is the Next Generation Special Forces group? Huh. They warn that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. Solid Snake is once again called back to duty in a top secret mission to deal with the greatest terrorist threat the world has ever seen. The greatest terrorist threat the world has ever seen. Dang. First, he must single-handedly infiltrate the nuclear weapons disposal site and rescue two hostages. DARPA chief Donald Anderson and the president of Arms Tech, Kenneth Baker, and then eliminate the terrorist threat and prevent a nuclear launch. Okay, the clock is ticking. Once again, Snake heads into battle alone. Okay, so we kind of have our mission here. Goal of the game. Infiltration. Infiltrate without being seen by your enemies. You're Solid Snake, and you've got to single-handedly infiltrate the nuclear weapons disposal facility, which is being occupied by a group of terrorists. If the enemy spots Snake, they will call in reinforcements and go after him. You can't win in a firefight against superior numbers, so try to avoid unnecessary battles wherever you can. I'll try my best. Mission objectives. Snake has two primary missions. 1. Infiltrate the nuclear disposal site. Determine the nuclear launch capabilities of the terrorists and prevent a launch at all costs. Determine the nuclear launch capabilities and prevent a launch. 2. Rescue the DARPA chief and the arms tech president. Both are being held as hostages. When the game begins, your first goal is to rescue the DARPA chief. Okay. Starting the game, new game. Select the difficulty of the mission, easy, normal, or hard. The extreme difficulty setting can only be selected after completing the game on one of the other settings. So you can complete it on easy and then choose extreme. I mean, that still kind of makes sense. Oh, dang. The competitive and stubborn part of me really wants to try hard mode, but I feel like these games in the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 era, or just like, I guess if you would call these retro, but retro games in general, I feel like they were not messing around. So I think the hard mode is actually going to be really hard, and I should not do it. Option, adjust various game settings. Briefing and options. Oh, briefing. View the mission briefing videos. Okay, I think I've heard some people mention these and that they should be watched, which I think I would have watched them anyway because, I mean, we need to be briefed on the mission before we jump into it. I'm imagining that's just a way that they separate, like if you've played the game before, that you don't have to go through some of that initial stuff before you jump in. VR training. Train in a VR environment. So I guess if I'm struggle busing with the stealth, I could train or practice combat maybe too. Load game, special, view information from your previous operations. Changing the discs. This game uses 2 discs. When the disc exchange screen is displayed, exchange the disc following the on-screen instructions. All right. Here we have Snake again, but still can't really see the face. Still obscure. Special controls. Sticking to walls. You can stick your back up against walls and other objects by pressing and holding the directional button in the direction of the wall or object. Okay, I think that's going to be difficult. Cargo elevator control panel. Press the action button while standing in front of the control panel to operate the elevator. The action button. What was... first person weapon. Normal, punch and kick, or action. Circle. So I think the action button is just the circle button. I think that's probably what it is. Press the action button while standing in front of the control panel to operate the elevator. Okay. Elevator controls number 1. To call the elevator, press the action button while facing the control panel next to the elevator. Okay. Occasionally, it may take some time for the elevator to appear. I bet that's going to be a part of some of the stealthing, that you might have to call the elevator, then go and hide somewhere, and then get into it. I bet that's going to happen. Elevator controls number 2. Stand in front of the control panel inside the elevator, and the floor buttons will be displayed. Okay. Hopefully I don't forget these. Elevator controls number 3. Press up or down on the directional buttons to highlight a floor and use the action button to select the floor you want to go to. Noted. Climbing up and down ladders. Press the action button in front of or at the top of a ladder to climb up or down. Okay. Entering and exiting air ducts. When using a cardboard box. Okay, wait, don't skip ahead. Crawl to enter or exit an air duct. And you press X to start crawling or to duck. After pressing the crawl button, use the directional button to move into crawling position. So you have to duck and then press the directional button. When you're inside an air duct, you'll be in intrude mode. See camera modes. Okay, we'll get there. When using a cardboard box. Although you can move normally while inside a cardboard box, your first-person view mode is restricted, as if you're peeking through a hole in the box. As long as the enemies don't see you moving, they may just think that you're a cardboard box and ignore you. Wait, no. We can hide and move inside a cardboard box. Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited for that. Torture event. Oh, okay, hold on. Special events. That does not sound like a special event. Repelling. X button. Jump off the wall. Oh, gosh. I'm so excited for this. That's kind of bad timing to say that after I read the torture event. But look at all these just different things. The cardboard box and the air ducts and ladders and elevators and rappelling and torture events. Okay, X button. Jump off the wall. Press down on the directional buttons while in mid-air to descend. X button, jump off the wall. Press right or left on the directional buttons while jumping to jump in either direction. Oh. Okay, so will you kind of be bouncing against the wall? And then you can do right or left to jump in either direction. Okay, interesting. Circle button. Press and hold so snake's feet will remain on the wall. Press the directional button while your feet are against the wall to move slowly in that direction. Cool. Torture event. Circle button. Press repeatedly to restore your life. So it seems like it's going to be a bit inevitable that we get caught at some point. Select button. Submit to the torture? What? You will continue to receive electric shocks until the time gauge runs out. Continue to press the circle button to restore your life. When your life gauge runs out, the game is over. However, if you submit, you can avoid ending the game. Note, there are no continues in this portion of the game. Wait, what does that mean? There are no continues in this portion of the game. Like, what? Does that mean it's legit game over? Or that if you game over on other parts, you can press continue and then you kind of start where you were, versus with this, you'd have to go back to a previous save that was further back? What? This is scary. However, if you submit, you can avoid ending the game. Circle button. Press repeatedly to restore your life. Select button. Submit to the torture. You receive the shocks until the time gauge runs out. So you have to try to keep your life up while the time is going down? What the heck? Life gauge. Solid Snake's remaining life. It is displayed when Snake receives damage. When the life gauge reaches 0, the game is over. When a boss enemy is defeated, your maximum life is increased according to the difficulty level you chose. Is that per, you can choose difficulties for each boss, or is that just per choosing the easy, normal, or hard? Item. Cigarette. Displays the item you are currently equipped with. When nothing is equipped, nothing is displayed. Weapons. Displays the weapon you are currently equipped with. When nothing is equipped, nothing is displayed. And it's the L2 and R2 that equips them. R1 and L1 is like quick change. Oxygen gauge. This shows the player's remaining oxygen. This gauge will only be displayed in areas which are filled with water or with gas. Once the O2 gauge reaches 0, the life gauge will begin to go down. Equipping the gas mask will cause your O2 gauge to decrease slowly. Okay, so that doesn't prevent it from decreasing. It just slows it down. Boss enemy's life gauge. Shows the boss enemy's remaining life. 2. Hostage's life gauge. Displayed when there's a hostage present. If the gauge reaches 0, the game is over. So it's not just a different ending for that. It's a game over. 3. Bullet gauge. Only versus Revolver Ocelot. Displays Revolver Ocelot's remaining number of bullets. When the gauge reaches 0, Revolver Ocelot will have to reload his gun. Okay, so that's probably kind of how you defeat him, is you have to wait for the reload and then go, maybe. Infiltration mode, radar. Dot in the center, Solid Snake. Green cone, Solid Snake's field of vision in first-person view mode. Red dots, enemy soldiers. Blue cone, enemy soldiers' normal field of vision. Red cone, enemy soldiers' field of vision in noise mode or footprint mode. Yellow cone, surveillance camera's field of vision. Note, the radar is not available in the hard and extreme difficulty settings. Certain items that use the radar, such as the mine detector, will be ineffective in these modes. Okay, well, kind of there's my answer on the hard mode. I feel like I'd rather use the normal mode then, because I want to experience the radar and potentially the mine detector. Alert mode. When you are discovered by an enemy, the game enters alert mode and your radar becomes unusable. Once you leave the enemy's field of vision, the countdown starts. When it reaches 0, the game enters evasion mode. Evasion mode. In this mode, the enemy soldiers are looking for Snake. If you are discovered again, the game re-enters alert mode. If the countdown reaches 0, the game returns to infiltration mode. Okay, so these are different tiers of things. Radar is unusable in this mode. Oh, in alert and evasion, you can't use your radar. That's tough. Electronic jamming. This is when the radar is unusable due to electronic jamming. During this time, weapons and other items which use electronic components, such as surveillance cameras and remote controlled missiles, will not function properly. Okay. Camera modes. Metal Gear Solid employs a variety of camera modes to create a feeling of participating in an infiltration mission packed with tension and excitement. Familiarize yourself with each unique camera mode and use them to your advantage. Behind mode. Use behind mode to spy on your surroundings while remaining hidden. Stick up against certain walls or other objects by pressing and holding the directional button, and the camera position will move to give you a strategic view of your area. Okay. Okay, so sometimes you just want to butt up against a wall so you can change your view. First person view mode. Use first person view mode to closely examine your immediate surroundings. Goes from up and then to looking ahead. When you press the first person view mode button, the camera shifts to the player's viewpoint. If you press the directional buttons while holding the first person view mode button, you can change the direction that Snake is looking in. While first person view mode, your field of vision is represented, while in it, your field of vision is represented by a green cone on your radar. Okay, so you can kind of see what you're looking at in that case. Intrude mode. Intrude mode operates when you are crawling through narrow areas. So it kind of becomes first person. When crawling in tight, narrow spaces, the camera shifts to the player's point of view. Advance by pressing up on the directional button and press down to go backwards. You can also turn right or left by pushing in either direction. You can use the first person view mode while in intrude mode to get a better look around. Okay, so it's probably the same view, but then using first person view mode lets you look around in the camera rather than moving. And first person view mode is the triangle button. And you need to hold it to look around. I hope I remember all of this. Infiltration mode is a standard mode when Snake has not been discovered by enemies or surveillance cameras. When Snake is discovered by an enemy soldier or surveillance camera, the game enters alert mode. In invasion mode, the enemy soldiers are no longer patrolling their routes and are actively searching for Snake. Okay, they go off of their normal routes. If the soldiers lose sight of Snake, the game will enter evasion mode. In alert mode, the enemies already know that Snake is around, so even if a noise is made, the game will not enter noise mode. What is noise mode? So evasion mode, they're actively searching for Snake. Like, they've seen you, they're searching for you. So even if they lose sight of you in alert mode, they still are in evasion mode. But there's a timer on that eventually will go back to infiltration mode. What is noise mode? In alert mode, the enemies already know that Snake is around, so even if a noise is made, that's not going to do anything because they already know. Enemy alertness level. Enemy soldier movement in infiltration mode. In infiltration mode, enemies generally patrol. How would you do this thing without reading the manual? Do people play this without reading the manual? There's so much information in here. Enemies generally patrol along a certain route. When the enemy soldiers hear a noise in infiltration mode, they leave their patrol route and investigate in the direction of the noise. This is called noise mode, and the enemy's field of vision is displayed on the radar as a red cone. So that's, I bet, because you can throw things. So I bet you can throw things, and then they enter noise mode, they investigate, and that can help. If the enemy soldiers search the area where the noise was made and find nothing unusual, they will return to their normal patrol routes. It is also possible to intentionally make a noise to lure the enemy soldiers in a particular direction. When you kill an enemy in this mode, he may drop an item. Okay. Make a noise and slice. Enemy soldier movement in evasion mode. If the enemy soldiers rediscover Snake in evasion mode, the game will re-enter alert mode. On the other hand, if the player can stay out of sight of the enemy until the counter reaches 0, the game will once again enter infiltration mode and the enemies will quickly return to the patrol routes. In evasion mode, just as in infiltration mode, it is possible to use noise mode. To lure your enemy in a particular direction. Okay, so noise mode does not work in alert mode, but it does work in evasion mode. Because they're looking for you, so they're gonna like search after the noise. But in alert mode, they know where you are. Enemy soldier movement in alert mode. In alert mode, the enemy soldiers will call in reinforcements and attack Snake. If the soldiers lose sight of Snake, the game will enter evasion mode. Does that still have to go down on the time, though? Are these the hostages or enemies? Could be Gray Fox and... Wait, Big Boss is dead. Game over. When either the player's life gauge or a hostage's life gauge reaches 0, the game will be over. In some stages, there are also traps which will cause the game to end if they are triggered. After the game over screen, wait a few seconds and the option to continue or exit will automatically be displayed. Continue restarts the game from the nearest continue point. There's no limit to the number of continues. Continue points occur after moving to a new area or before fighting an enemy boss. After moving to a new area before fighting an enemy boss. So with the torture, when it says you can't continue, exit, quit the game and return to the title screen. I mean, can you still exit and reload at a point? Saving a game in Metal Gear Solid saves the player's game at the nearest continue point. Save the game by contacting Mei Ling on the codec. Okay. Select load game at the title screen and the data selection screen will be displayed. So maybe it's just that they kind of want you to feel the fact that you really lost. You really lost by getting tortured to death. When data is loaded, the game will restart from the saved continue point. Mission log. This provides the player with a simple summary explaining the player's goal and actions up to that point. You can only view the mission log after you have loaded a saved game. Okay. Codec mode. Press the select button to enter the codec mode. By using the codec, Snake can get support from various people. During the game, they can provide Snake with information and answers to different puzzles and problems. Okay. Incoming calls. Oh, I'm so excited for this. When Snake receives a call on the codec from another character, the call sign will be displayed. Press the select button to enter codec mode and the communication will begin. Calls provide particularly important information, so make sure you always answer them. Can you choose to not answer them? It seems like you can, I guess, if you already know the information. How to use the codec, transmission procedure, selecting a frequency. Press the directional button right or left to adjust the frequency, starting a transmission. Press up on the directional button or press the circle button to start a transmission. If you have not selected the proper frequency, the message "no response" will be displayed. Sometimes even when the correct frequency has been selected, there may be no answer depending on the circumstances of the person you are calling. Using the memory feature, press down on the directional button to open the memory window. So up is transmission, down is memory. List of people with whom you have communicated. Choose the person you wish to call with the directional button, press the circle button to begin a transmission to that person, or press the X button to cancel and close the memory window. So as you can call people that you've already contacted. Exiting the codec mode, press select while not transmitting to exit the codec mode. Saving your progress. Call Mei Ling to save your game. After the memory card window is displayed, select the memory card. Yep. Okay. Frequency list. Oh, okay, so this is going to be helpful. Roy Campbell. As commander of the operation, he provides Snake with hints on how to advance in the game and useful information on the controls. Okay, so Roy Campbell will give us hints. Naomi Hunter. As chief of Foxhound's medical staff, she can provide details about Foxhound as well as information about the boss enemies. So she's a part of Foxhound, but maybe ends up not agreeing with it and so starts working with us? Although, wait. Foxhound, because this is page 31. Foxhound and captured by Next Generation Special Forces led by members of Foxhound. I guess I'm a little curious if Foxhound has done all of this, or if it's kind of like former members of Foxhound, and so that Foxhound is also still part of the government as a group. I think we'll figure it out though. Mei Ling, she's in charge of communications for this operation and is an expert on imaging technology. She is responsible for saving mission data. Natasha Romanenko, a military analyst, Natasha provides information about weapons and nuclear technology, as well as tips about how to use your weapons and items. Okay, so if I find a new weapon, Master Miller, I think I'm going to forget that I have access to all of these. As a former survival instructor, or I'll just be too stubborn to want to use them. As a former survival instructor, he gives psychological advice as well as tips about various special techniques, but I kind of also am going to want to talk to them to see what they have to say. He also has a wealth of information about Alaska. Meryl Silverberg provides support and valuable background information. Okay. I really need to make sure that I can keep track of these. How to equip weapons. That is the downside to not having the physical manual, is that having it physically, it would be so nice to just kind of be able to flip through and look at that. So maybe I'll just print some of these out. Equipping weapons. Press and hold the R2 button to display the weapon window. Select the weapon you want to equip and release the R2 button to equip the weapon. Select no weapon to not equip. Numbers below the weapon icon show the remaining and maximum ammo. Items is the L2. The numbers below the item represent the current and maximum number of items. Rations for restoring life. Okay, getting items. Items can be acquired by retrieving item boxes. You can use first-person view mode to see what is inside an item box before you pick it up. Oh. Okay, first-person view mode to see what is inside an item box before you pick it up. I think I'm going to forget that too. You cannot hold more items or ammo than the maximum limit. When you've reached your maximum limit, the message full will be displayed and the item box will remain unretrieved. Okay, but it'll still be there so I could come back for it. If an item box contains ammunition for a weapon that you have not yet acquired, the message "Get weapon first" will be displayed. List of main items. No use, frozen. Some items may be unusable depending on the area and the circumstances. In those cases, one of the icons shown above will be displayed on the item window. Scope, magnifying binoculars, that'll be helpful. Cigarettes. Solid Snake's favorite brand. Smoking is hazardous to your health. Ration, military rations. Restore your life gauge. Press the circle button while the item menu is open to increase your life a certain amount. If your life gauge reaches 0 while you have rations equipped, they will be used automatically. Oh, I should remember that. So you can have them equipped if something's going down, and then they'll be used automatically. Could you have them equipped while you're being tortured? Card level 1. Level 1 security card. Equip this card to open all security doors level 1 and below. You will need to acquire higher level cards to progress. You can use first person view to check the door's security levels. See box A. Cardboard box A. To the heliport is written on it. Equipped to have Snake hide inside the cardboard box. It may fool the enemy soldiers. So you carry this around. It's in your inventory. Thermal goggles. Night vision equipment employs thermal imaging to enhance the heat signatures of items and enemies. That seems helpful. Weapons list. During the game, the player will be able to utilize a variety of different weapons. Familiarize yourself with each weapon's characteristics and use them wisely. Contact Natasha to learn more about the different weapons. Right. SOCOM. Semi-automatic pistol. Press the weapon button to aim and release to fire. It can also be equipped with a suppressor to help with the noise. FAMAS, assault rifle. Fire by pressing the weapon button. Press and hold to fire on full auto. Okay, C4 explosive, plastic explosive. Press the action button. Press the weapon button to set. Press the action button to detonate. Grenade, fragmentation grenade. Press the weapon button to pull the safety pin and release to throw. Explodes 5 seconds after the pin is pulled. And weapon button is square. Weapon button is square. Circle button is action. Press the weapon button to set. That would be square. Press the action button to detonate. The SOCOM. Press the weapon button to aim, release to fire. FAMOS. Fire by pressing the weapon button. Okay, grenade. Press the weapon button and release to throw. These are also different. Chaff grenade. Electronic jamming grenade. Press the weapon button to pull the pin, release to throw. Jams electronics by dispersing metallic strips. Explodes 5 seconds after the pin is pulled. Stun grenade. Special sound and flash grenade. Okay, temporarily stuns enemies. Nikita remote controlled missile. Press the weapon button to fire. After firing, use the directional button to guide. Press the first person button to change the missile's view. Can't be guided into areas with electronic jamming. Claymore mine. Anti-personnel landmine. Press and hold the weapon button to arm. Release the weapon button to set. Explodes when an enemy or snake enters the active area. I'm definitely going to blow myself up at some point. Crawl to disarm and retrieve. Okay. I'm not going to remember any of this. I'm going to have to contact Natasha. Stinger missiles. Radar guided missiles. Game enters scope mode when equipped. Use the direction buttons to aim and the weapon button to fire. PSG-1. Sniper rifle. When equipped, game enters scope mode. Press the directional buttons to move the sights and the weapon button to fire when equipped. Okay. So sometimes equipping a certain weapon is just going to change the view automatically. I can't, enter into the view with a button. Camera. When equipped, the screen changes to the camera's viewfinder. Press the circle button to zoom in and the X button to zoom out. Press the square button to snap a photo. You can save a copy of the photo onto a memory card. A photo takes up 2 memory blocks. When photo data is saved, a new option, album, will be available in the special directory from the title screen. That's fun. That's fun. Briefing. You can change the camera only when a message is displayed in the upper right of the screen. Camera free. Triangle button to zoom in. Square button to zoom out. Camera change. Press the circle button to change the camera angle. 3 options, A, B, C. That's when you're going through the briefing, so you can kind of look at different stuff. Options. Change the various game settings. Caption. Turn the subtitles on and off. Sound. Select between stereo or monaural sound. Mono sound. Vibration. Turn the analog controller's vibration function on and off. I'm going to need to make sure I have the captions on. I hope I don't forget to do that. Vibration test. Exit. Key config. Screen. Adjust the brightness. VR training. Virtual reality infiltration training with 3 different modes. The controls are the same as in the normal game. You have training mode, time attack mode, gun shooting mode. Training mode. Reach the goal without being spotted by the enemies. Simulation ends when spotted. I feel like I should try that before I start the game. Time attack mode. Reach the goal within the allotted time. Simulation ends when spotted or when time runs out. This can only be selected after training mode is completed. Gun shooting mode. Use your SOCOM pistol to reach the goal in the allotted time. Your goal appears after all enemies are killed. SOCOM ammo is limited and exchanged for time when goal is reached. This can only be selected after time attack mode is completed. Special. As the game progresses, more menu choices appear. Oh. Previous operations. Read the background stories from Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. I think that's what I read earlier in the manual. Holy cow, advanced techniques. Oh, that was a long manual. I got this. Strangle. When you're not holding a weapon and you press the weapon button without pressing the directional button, which is square, while close to the enemy, you can strangle the enemy. If you press the directional button while strangling your enemy, you can drag them. So you gotta strangle first and then drag. If you repeatedly press the weapon button while strangling, you can snap your enemy's neck. Cool. I love a violent game. So many. I mean, I knew what I was getting into, kind of. I did. Quick change. You can equip and unequip your weapons or items without opening the windows. by pressing the R1 or L1 buttons. If you press the button while an item is equipped, you will unequip it. If you press the button while an item is equipped, you will unequip it. If you press the button when nothing is equipped, the last item/weapon used will be equipped. Okay. So it does the last one equipped. So I can probably try to prep that at times. Maybe. Quick peek. If you press the R1 or L1 button while in first-person view mode, you can take one side step to the right or left, respectively. When you release the button, you'll return to your original position. It's a good technique for taking a peek around walls or objects while remaining hidden in the shadows. That's also something that seems like it would be helpful to remember, and I feel like I'm going to forget. R1 or L1 while in first-person view mode to sidestep and take a peek. Tactical reload and shooting while running. Reloading during a battle can be very dangerous because it leaves you temporarily defenseless. When it looks like you are about to run out of ammunition, press the R1 button twice. This will cancel your action and make Snake reload his gun. You can also run while shooting with the SOCOM or FAMAS by pressing, is that how it's said? FAMAS? FAMAS? By pressing the crawl button while holding down the weapon button. You can also run while shooting by pressing the crawl button, which is X, while holding down the weapon button. Okay. But if you do the weapon button while you're running, nothing will happen. But you have to do the weapon button and then press the crawl button. Whew. Whew. Double press R1 to cancel your action and reload. Luring and noise mode. Oh, the tapping against the wall. And that, the action button, that's circle. When the enemy soldiers hear a strange noise, they'll leave their patrol route and check the area that the noise came from. Once they confirm that there's nothing unusual, they'll return to the patrol route. Press the action button when you're up against a wall or other obstacle to make a noise. If you do it right, you should be able to lure the enemy soldier your way, and then kill them. Snap their neck. Oh, Meryl Silverberg. Wait, she was part. Oh, perfect. Provides support and valuable background information. So she comes and does stuff with us? Solid Snake. This art is cool. Solid Snake, former member of Foxhound and an expert at infiltration. He can accomplish his mission under any circumstances, in any location. Meryl Silverberg, Campbell's niece. Nepotism. She was caught in the middle of Foxhound's revolt. She has excellent training as a soldier, but no actual battle experience. Okay. So she seems book smart, but doesn't have the experience. She was caught in the middle of Foxhound's revolt. Okay, Roy Campbell, former commander of Foxhound. Although retired, he was called back to active duty as operation commander for this mission, probably because he was a former commander, but now he's not in Foxhound, so yeah. Naomi Hunter, chief of Foxhound's medical staff. She's in charge of gene therapy. She works along with Campbell to provide support for Snake. See, that's what confuses me. She's chief of Foxhound's medical staff, but she's Foxhound is supposedly evil, bad. Maybe? I don't know. Mailing. Operator in charge of communication data processing for this operation. Operator in charge of communication data processing for this operation. She invented the codec communicator that Snake uses. Great. Special Forces Group. Foxhound Special Forces Group. Liquid Snake. So these are enemies. Character files. Right? Yeah, Revolver Ocelot was one. Liquid Snake. A man with the same face as Snake. What? As Foxhound squad leader. Is that from the gene therapy? Is that what gene therapy can do? As Foxhound squad leader, he's the mastermind behind the terrorist attack. We're fighting ourselves. Revolver Ocelot. An expert with handguns. and a sadist with a penchant for torture. So that's probably where we get tortured. Vulcan Raven. He's a giant shaman with strong spiritual powers, blessed with a powerful body which is resistant to extreme cold. Sniper Wolf. A brilliant sniper. She can wait in sniping position for hours, days, or even a week without moving a muscle. Oof. Psycho Mantis. A former member of the KGB's Psychic Intelligence Unit. He has powerful telekinetic and mind-reading abilities. These all sound like they're going to be difficult. Decoy Octopus. Very little is known about him/her. Very little is known about them. Decoy Octopus. Genome Soldiers. Members of the Next Generation Special Forces and reserve members of Unit Foxhound. Although they have virtually no battle experience, they have been rigorously trained in VR simulators and are therefore experienced soldiers. NBC warfare troops, light infantry, Arctic warfare troops. We are in Alaska, so I guess at some point we'll be out in the snow. Heavily armed troops. Ninja. Little is known about this cyborg ninja. Wow, look at that cyborg! He uses stealth camouflage and wields a Japanese katana that can cut through steel like butter and even deflect bullets. Big boss. What's gonna happen? Former commander of Foxhound, once known as the legendary soldier. His remains have been preserved by the military. Hall Emmerich, an employee of Arms Tech Inc. His nickname, Otakon, stands for Otaku Convention, a Japanese animation festival. Huh. Nastasha Romanenko, a freelance military analyst. Right. She provides support to Snake as a specialist in nuclear technology. Master Miller, Foxhound's former survival teacher. He provides Snake's support by codec. Donald Anderson, Director of the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA. Director of the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. He's been taken hostage by the terrorists. Jim Houseman, Secretary of Defense. He commands this counter-terrorist operation from his AWACS, Airborne Warning and Control System plane. Kenneth Baker, president of a huge arms conglomerate, Arms Tech Inc. He's been taken hostage by the terrorists along with the DARPA chief. Okay, we're getting to the end. Metal Gear Solid Glossary. I think this is still going to be helpful to read, since I have no experience with Metal Gear. Yeah, okay. Unit Foxhound, a special forces unit formed to deal with local insurgencies, regional conflicts, and counterterrorism. They're a shadow unit employed secretively in politically sensitive operations where the overt introduction of military assets would be otherwise impossible. All members of the unit are masters of airborne, underwater, and survival operations, as well as experts in infiltration missions. The first commander of the unit was the legendary soldier Big Boss. Already aware of the importance of standard soldiers in guerrilla warfare, he decided to form an elite unit of high-tech soldiers after viewing the power and efficiency of high-tech weapons in the Gulf War. After the Outer Heaven revolt, Campbell, who had been second in command, became the commander of the unit and did away with the code name system. He began to put his own personal stamp on Unit Foxhound, adopting even more high-tech equipment such as spy satellites and the like. Next Generation Special Forces. Reserve members of Unit Foxhound selected after undergoing genetic map testing. They were originally members of a counter-terrorist special forces group, but after the death of Big Boss, the mercenaries employed by Outer Heaven were purchased by the government and added to the group to form the Next Generation Special Forces. So they just bought the mercenaries for this? Although most of the soldiers had no real battle experience, they were trained with Force 21, the Army's 21st century soldiers, after undergoing extensive gene therapy. These war games were designed to simulate conflicts that were likely to occur in the next millennium. All of these soldiers are highly capable and carry the nickname the Space SEALs. Metal Gear, a nuclear-equipped walking battle tank. Its main selling point was its ability to launch a variety of nuclear warheads toward anywhere on Earth from any location. Why did it need to walk? It had the ability to move independently, and instead of using a standard nuclear launch module, it was equipped with a weapon which allowed it to launch a nuclear weapon with no external support. Since it could operate from regions which were, up to that point, not on the world's nuclear strategy map, it was a weapon that destroyed the sensitive balance of nuclear deterrence and represented an enormous threat to the entire world. Outer Heaven, a heavily fortified nation formed deep in South Africa in the late 1980s. It was actually a large-scale mercenary dispatch company created by Big Boss. Although it nearly achieved military supremacy through the development of Metal Gear TX-55, the nuclear-equipped walking battle tank Outer Heaven was destroyed along with Big Boss by Solid Snake. Zanzibar, a fortified nation in Central Asia ruled by a minority ethnic group. Although the superpowers of the East and West became involved in its 1997 war for independence. The superpowers. Okay, it was the activity of Zanzibar's mercenaries, collected from all over the world, which played the largest role in its victory. For that reason, the war became known as the Mercenary War, and it gave rise to a whole new generation of professionals who made a business of war. Big Boss, an extraordinary man who worked as a mercenary for numerous countries during the 1960s. He achieved near-mythic status during his lifetime as the famous legendary soldier. In the 1990s, he secretly created Outer Heaven while officially serving as commander of Unit Foxhound, but he was defeated by Solid Snake. Later, he formed the nation of Zanzibar, but his plans were once again foiled by Solid Snake. His remains were preserved by the military as a genetic sample of the greatest soldier that ever lived. See, something's going to happen there. Too suspicious. Gray Fox, real name, Frank Yeager. The only man with the honor of receiving Foxhound's highest codename, Fox. They haven't even given it to Solid Snake? During the Outer Heaven Revolt, he was the first member of Foxhound sent to infiltrate Outer Heaven. He was captured while gathering information about Metal Gear TX-55, but was rescued by Solid Snake. After Big Boss left the military, Gray Fox mysteriously disappeared as well. Later in Zanzibar, he fought against Foxhound alongside Big Boss as he declared war against the rest of the world. Acting on orders, Snake was forced to defeat him. So I wonder if Gray Fox sort of was tempted into it by Big Boss during his capture. DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, a government agency formed to research various new technologies for use in military applications. ArmsTech Inc., a military weapons manufacturing company with its main office in Seattle, Washington. It achieved rapid growth during the Cold War, in what was a boom time for the arms industry, and became the second largest arms manufacturer in the world. It was involved in the development of SDI and the railgun, but when those projects were terminated, they suffered an enormous financial loss. Although they led the world in the development of stealth technology, they have recently experienced tremendous economic difficulty as a result of their failure in their bid to manufacture the USAF's next line of high-tech fighter planes. And that's what they kind of mentioned before, like people or groups being created, a whole new generation of professionals who made a business of war, which feels related to this. It feels like there's going to be commentary on it, perhaps. ATGC Inc., a leading company in the field of bioengineering. ATGC is an acronym for adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. The Next Generation Special Forces gene therapy was a joint project between the Department of Defense and the ATGC company. Nanomachines, tiny machines created by means of MEMS, micro electromechanical systems technology, used in ultra small transmitters and medical DDSs. Although the size is on a micrometer scale, they are referred to as nanomachines because their single electronic transistor and synergy ceramics employ nanoscale technology. Snake begins this operation after having received an injection of nanomachines, which include a transmitter, radar, and anti-NBC defense systems. Okay. Gene therapy, the process by which a person's genomic information is analyzed and a copy of the useful genes are inserted into a subject cell. Using this process, advantageous genes were inserted into soldiers to create genome soldiers with strong battle skills. These became the next generation special forces. Okay, and that's why that one person knows about them. I guess it's earlier on, the medical person. I forget their name. I'll try to brush up on the names. Stealth camouflage. After years of refining stealth technology, Arms Tech created this new type of camouflage. It makes the object blend into the background by performing real-time optic refraction processing in order to render the object as invisible as possible. Do I have that? Powered exoskeleton. Essentially an artificial, externally equipped skeleton designed to raise the wearer's fighting abilities as high as possible. By inserting a cybernetic module into the body at a skeletal level, it became possible to create a cybernetic organism capable of incredible feats of strength and skill. Physical and mental problems which had hitherto prevented advances in this technology, such as stress, concentration, and rejection reactions, were overcome through the process of gene therapy. I feel like this is just going to be related to the bosses that I have to fight, or the enemies I have to fight. PAL, Permissive Action Link, a safety control system built into all nuclear missiles and warheads. It is impossible to launch or lock a nuclear missile without using the PAL. Impossible to launch or lock. So I wonder, I'm going to have to, a safety control system. Maybe that's going to have to be how I stop it, is I have to crack that or break it. Something. START, a strategic nuclear missile reduction treaty. To date, START 1 and START 2 have been ratified, and the strategic nuclear arsenal of both the US and Russia have been reduced to between 3,000 to 3,500 warheads. Heavy ICBMs and MIRV ICBMs, multiple independent reentry vehicles, have been completely abolished. The START 3 treaty is scheduled to be signed in the near future. TMD, Theater Missile Defense, defensive technology developed with the termination of the SDI project, designed to deal with the spread of missiles and other weapons of mass destruction. While SDI was intended to be used against long-range strategic missiles, TMDs are designed to intercept short-range tactical missiles. SDI was intended to be used against long-range strategic missiles. TMDs are designed to intercept short-range tactical missiles. Okay. I think we're at the end. Yeah, we are. CTBT, Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, a treaty negotiated in the Geneva Conference on Disarmament by the United Nations and the Arms Control and Disarmament Agency. A treaty negotiated. Yeah, okay. It abolishes all forms of nuclear testing, including underground nuclear tests. Okay. NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty, a treaty theoretically designed to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons to countries other than the Big Five. Theoretically designed. The United States, Russia, Great Britain, France, and China. In practice, it had little effect. Whew, we did it. We did it. The manual. Wow, lots of information. And I am so excited. And I'm going to have to try so hard to keep this information in my brain. Because there's a lot of tips and tricks in here and controls that I think would be easy to forget, that would be helpful to remember. If you listened to all of this, thanks for sticking with me. The information is at least 30% in my brain now, and we'll work on getting it to, I think like 85% would be a good goal. 100% of this information sticking in my brain. is a little far-fetched. I think I'd be just lying to myself at that point with that goal. So we're gonna aim for increasing that 30% to 85%. Maybe with the briefing, maybe with some in-game tutorials, maybe with rereading this manual again. I feel like I say I will do that and I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try. And is that what matters? Or is actually doing it what matters? Up for discussion. But that's the manual for Metal Gear Solid. Not just Metal Gear Solid. So I'm going to take like a little bit of a breather and just let that information sit a little bit. And then we'll jump into episode 1 of gameplay. Oh, this is gonna be something. This is gonna be a unique experience for me. I don't think I've played a game like this, so this is I'm excited. I hope y'all are too. Okay, I'll see y'all over there. Good PlayStation starting screen. I think that was just like a little jingle for, what was it, Konami? I kind of loved that though. The Hideo Kojima game. Alaska, Bering Sea. Submarine? Seems like.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by next-generation special forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have 2 mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the president of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike. Stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
This is cool. So this is Snake doing it. Doing what they're talking about the plan being. That's fun.
High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound's squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
That ringing sounds like a phone alarm. It made me want to glance over and wonder what's going on. Oh, cool. Okay. Start of the mission. Tactical espionage action. Metal Gear Solid. He's a snake. The face. Oh, wait, did it just... It's blinking! Okay, so we got new game, load game, option. What was an option? Oh, cool. That's like, it's like a gunshot to select. Okay, captions on. Good. I think this will be okay. Screen brightness. How am I feeling? Adjust the monitor brightness to the grayscale below the green line. So the grayscale below the green line cannot be seen. For the appropriate brightness to play this game, press the circle button to return to the option screen. Can I adjust it right now? What? How do I... But how am I supposed to adjust it? Wait, nothing I'm pressing is doing anything. Right? Is it? I see the grayscale for like 16. I feel like nothing I'm doing is doing anything. Okay, well, I guess we're keeping that. Key config. No, that's all fine. Okay. Oh, the briefing. Okay, I do wanna watch that. Special. The previous operations. Metal Gear 2. And are these just what was in the manual? No, this looks a little different. In 13 pages, I think that looks... Well, it's hard to tell if it's longer just with the text size and spacing. I think this is different than what was in the manual, though. So I do want to read these, actually. Okay, so for Metal Gear. The year, 1995. Deep in South Africa, 200 kilometers north of Garsberg. I'm trying to not miss a single ounce of lore here. Outer Heaven, an armed fortress nation established by the legendary mercenary. He was feared in combat by both his friends and foes as a hero and a lunatic. The Western nations have found out that a weapon of mass destruction capable of rewriting war history is under development at Outer Heaven. They have called upon the high-tech Special Force Unit Foxhound to take care of the situation. So look at this Foxhound, like this fox thing in the background. Like this cartoon with a rifle or some sort of gun. That's wild. In response to this order, Big Boss, Commander-in-Chief of Foxhound, sent Grey Fox, the man with the codename Fox, which is given to the best member of the unit. Operation Intrude, N313. After a few days, his last message being Metal Gear, Grey Fox was missing in action. Taking the situation seriously, the top men of the West again called for Foxhound. So I'm wondering, So I want to know if Foxhound is a special force under a specific government, or if they're kind of like a free agent mercenary group, essentially. Whoops. That's a little bit what I'm confused on. But like all of this description here says the West and the top men of the West and the Western nations. Big Boss selected Solid Snake, who had just recently joined Foxhound, as the agent and entrusted everything to him. Successfully making a solo infiltration to Outer Heaven, Snake got in touch with local resistance members Schneider, Diane, and Jennifer. With their cooperation, Snake succeeded in rescuing Grey Fox. Grey Fox then laid out the terrifying facts about Metal Gear. Metal Gear was the development name of a nuclear warhead-equipped two-legged walking tank. It can walk through even the roughest terrains that would stop normal tanks. It can conduct local warfare by itself with unique weapons like its Vulcan cannon and anti-tank missiles. Okay, so that's why it walked, is because it could do local warfare along with launching a nuclear attack anywhere in the world. It was indeed a new type of weapon that can conduct a nuclear attack against any place on the face of the earth from any land surface. With Metal Gear, Outer Heaven was trying to establish its military superiority over the entire world. In order to destroy Metal Gear, Snake rescued Metal Gear's chief engineer, Dr. Petrovic, and his daughter Ellen, who was taken hostage to force her father to continue with his development. Snake hears from Dr. Petrovic how to destroy Metal Gear. However, as Snake approached the heart of Outer Heaven and Metal Gear, well-designed traps are set all around Snake, as if all his actions are being leaked to the enemy. In the midst of the escalating battle, the leader of resistance, Schneider, fell into the hands of the enemy, and Snake himself was injured through the deadly battles with Outer Heaven's best mercenaries. But Snake's indomitable spirit led him to the 100th floor basement of the secret base where Metal Gear was developed. Evading the powerful defense system that wipes out all intruders, Snake ultimately succeeded in destroying Metal Gear. Snake tried to escape from Outer Heaven upon completing the mission. However, during the escape, he was confronted by one man. Foxhound Commander-in-Chief Big Boss. Big Boss laughed at the astounded Snake and told him of the truth about his mission. While serving as the commander-in-chief of Foxhound, Big Boss also ran a mercenary dispatch company utilizing his connections and capital from his years as a merc. He was planning to build this company a larger military establishment, and he built Outer Heaven as its base. His purpose for sending the rookie Snake to Outer Heaven was to cause information confusion against the West. However, Big Boss miscalculated. He never thought that Snake would make it this far. Having lost Metal Gear, Big Boss activated the self-destruction system of the underground base. Oh. While the countdown to destruction continued, his scream echoed in the emptiness. "You have gone too far. Too far." On the 100th floor basement, the battle between two men commenced, free of ideology and politics. The armed fortress nation Outer Heaven collapsed. The impenetrable fortress made from the best military technology and occupied by the toughest mercenaries burned in flames. Behind him, the flames reached skyward as Outer Heaven fell, leaving Solid Snake all alone. That's some good writing. I'm locked. Okay, so this is for, the Metal Gear 2. 1999. The world was facing an energy crisis. It was obvious that the supply of petroleum would run out faster than expected. However, the development of an alternate energy resource is far from completion. The price of petroleum has skyrocketed, and the world economy is in confusion. The 21st century was expected to be one of chaos. One man's invention changed the entire situation. A Czech genius and biologist, Dr. Kio Marv, invented Oilix, a microorganism that refines petroleum to produce a highly purified form of petroleum. The world was filled with hope upon the discovery of this messiah to solve the energy crisis, but at the same time the world entered a time of tension regarding this new algae. Just when the whole world's attention was drawn to Oilix and Dr. Marv, he was abducted by someone and disappeared. Nations began investigations immediately, and a name soon appeared. Zanzibar Land. Zanzibar Land was a democratic military regime that suddenly appeared in Central Asia in 1997. When their uprising took place, the CIS army, formed around Russia, sent a suppressive unit immediately. Zanzibar Land resisted by gathering a band of mercenaries from the nations around the world and fortifying most of its land. So now at this point we're actually naming countries. As a result, the CIS army was repeatedly defeated, and Zanzibar Land declared its independence. Due to the active role mercenaries played, this war was called the Mercenary War, and Zanzibar Land was referred to as an armed fortress nation, a military nation with a group of strong mercenaries surrounded by a tough fortress. According to the latest information, Zanzibar supposedly was armed with nuclear weapons. The whole scenario was crystal clear. By obtaining Oilix in addition to nuclear weapons, Zanzibar Land was trying to establish its economic and military superiority over the entire world. Concerned about the situation, the United States ordered Roy Campbell, Commander-in-Chief of High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound, to rescue Dr. Marv. Okay, so that makes me want, the United States ordered Roy Campbell. That makes it feel more like Foxhound is underneath the U.S. government, but maybe still not. Campbell was a former member of Foxhound. He brought back Solid Snake, the man who single-handedly brought down the armed fortress nation of Outer Heaven 4 years ago, and asked Snake to bring back both Dr. Marv and Oilix, successfully infiltrating Zanzibar land, and with the help of the CIA agent Hori and others, Snake was able to go deep into the fortress and meet again with Dr. Petrovic, the chief engineer of Metal Gear at Outer Heaven. Oh, right, because Zanzibar, yeah, they had developed they finished Metal Gear in this one. So that's what the manual said, at least. He too was abducted to Zanzibar land and was forced to develop another Metal Gear. But no daughter being abducted? He told the surprised Snake of an even more shocking fact. Big Boss, the man Snake had defeated at Outer Heaven, turned out to be the general commander of Zanzibar land. He's back. Snake rescued Dr. Petrovic in cooperation with Natasha, Dr. Marv's guard, and former Czech international secret police agent, and then headed for the confinement facility deep in the fortress to save Dr. Marv. When Petrovic and Natasha crossed the narrow suspension bridge over the deep valley, a missile blew the bridge away. Natasha flew into the air because of the explosion. While unable to do anything to save Natasha, Snake started hearing a well-known voice. Hey, Snake, we're good buddies. I can let you go. Just leave this place at once. Gray Fox. Snake saw Gray Fox controlling Metal Gear, the best soldier in Foxhound who, after the fall of Outer Heaven, disappeared as if he followed Big Boss. I kind of wonder if if Gray Fox was already in on this when he got abducted in the first one, and that was just part of the ploy, or if Gray Fox got convinced into it after being abducted. Losing Natasha in front of his eyes and letting Petrovic get taken away, Snake screamed, "Fox, I will not give up!" After a series of deadly battles with mercenaries, Snake finally made it to Dr. Marv's confinement facility. However, he arrived too late. He saw Dr. Marv's corpse and Petrovic, who could do nothing but just stand there. Dang. Petrovic told Snake that Dr. Marv could not withstand the repeated tortures because of heart problems. Snake then received an emergency call from Hori. The information she supplied was very shocking. Petrovic had been voluntarily visiting Zanzibar land to develop Metal Gear. The twists are endless. The abduction of Dr. Marv was conducted under the directions of Petrovic himself. After the truth came out, Petrovic attacked Snake, but Snake easily put an end to him and obtained the structural plan of Oilix. While trying to escape, Snake was confronted by Metal Gear again, controlled by Gray Fox. The tremendous battle took place in the underground base. Snake finally succeeded in destroying Metal Gear. However, Gray Fox did not submit and challenged Snake to the final battle. In the midst of a minefield, Snake and Fox fought without any weapons, a fist-to-fist duel involving no hatred or murder intent. Really? During that weird moment of purity, the two were bound by forces transcending words and emotion. Huh. Snake won the tough but pure battle against Gray Fox. However, there was still someone else Snake had to fight, Big Boss. Just like 4 years ago at Outer Heaven, Big Boss was waiting for Snake. One who has experienced the tension of battle can never leave the battlefield. I am the one giving you something to live for, and that is war. Snake was infuriated at the arrogant Big Boss. There's only one battle I have to fight. To free myself from you, to shatter the nightmare. Big Boss, I will kill you. I am the one giving you something to live for, and that is war. With the structural plan of Oilix, Snake and Hori escaped from Zanzibar land on a rescue helicopter. Snake once again saved the world. However, there was no smile on his face. Big Boss's last words kept ringing in Snake's head. Whoever wins, our battle does not end. The loser is freed from the battlefield, but the winner must remain there, and the survivor must live his life as a warrior until he dies. Snake then disappeared into the white lands of Alaska, alone. So this one also ends with Snake being alone. And this, I think I had read that Metal Gear or Metal Gear Solid, I don't know if it was all of them or one of the specific ones, kind of had things to say about war in the military. And this feels like a moment of that. Whoever wins, our battle does not end. The loser is freed from the battlefield, but the winner must remain there. And the survivor must live his life as a warrior until he dies. I mean, even outside of PTSD and war and trauma in that regard, it's also just, I don't know, kind of life. You can't, your past and things you experience are always with you in some way or another. And you kind of keep living your life as that being a part of you and figuring out how to proceed with that. And Snake keeps trying to retire. I'm curious. I mean, both of them kind of mentioned being alone, which invokes this feeling of someone almost struggling with their inner demons and trying to escape from them, but in the same way, like it invokes a feeling more of trying to run from inner demons rather than facing and dealing with them, and the being alone, trying to do it on your own or isolating yourself. Which is curious. I'm curious if more themes of that and dialogue will pop up in the game. Okay, so that's that. But it's cool, the text in the background, the Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. The VR training. I feel like I should maybe give that a try before I start the game, but we'll see. I also just want to start. Okay, and then the briefing. I do want to watch the briefings. I think the manual said I could switch camera angles when certain text.
It's been a long time, Snake.
I should have known you were behind this, Colonel.
That's no way to greet an old war buddy, Snake.
Is this
What do you
Campbell?
want from me?
I just invited you here so we could have a talk.
Invited? That's what you call sending armed soldiers after me?
Sorry if they were a little rough with you. But we've got a serious situation here. Only you can get us out of it.
I'm retired from Foxhound. You're not my commander anymore.
Oh, is that
and I
Snake?
don't have to take orders from you or anyone else.
I guess that's the face
You
Liquid
will
Snake
take
had.
these orders.
Or how Liquid
I
Snake
know
looked.
it.
You will take these orders, I know it.
Who's this?
Dr. Naomi Hunter. She's chief of Foxhound's medical staff and an expert in gene therapy.
Are you military?
No, civilian. I've been sent here from ATGC. Pleasure to meet you, Snake. Don't worry, this injection won't hurt a bit.
What's the shot for?
What's wrong? You don't like shots?
What's wrong? I'm
Snake,
not gonna
listen
tell
up.
you.
It all went down 5 hours ago. Heavily armed soldiers occupied Shadow Moses Island,
So
a
quick
remote island
turnaround.
off the coast of Alaska.
What soldiers?
Next Generation Special Forces, led by members of Unit Foxhound. They've presented Washington with a single demand, and they say that if it isn't met, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
A nuclear weapon?
I'm afraid so. You see, the island is the site of a secret nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Foxhound hijacking a nuclear weapon?
Now you understand how serious the situation is. You'll have 2 mission objectives. First, you're to rescue the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, and the president of Arms Tech, Kenneth Baker. They're both being held as hostages.
Those are some heavy-duty hostages.
I wonder why they were
Secondly,
there. I
you're
guess
to
they might have been
investigate
kidnapped.
whether or not the terrorists have the ability to launch a nuclear strike, and stop them if they do.
So they might not
Any
even have the
questions, Snake?
ability.
Questions? I haven't even said whether I'd accept this mission.
Well, you can make up your mind after you hear more about the situation.
Okay, we have the other ones.
Colonel, I don't work for the government anymore.
Oh, I think
Let
I
me go
accidentally
back
pressed
to Twin
X.
Lakes.
Why, Snake? Is your life in Alaska all that great?
There's a dog sled race this week. Next Saturday, I have to be in Anchorage.
The Iditarod? The longest sled race in the world? When did you become a dog musher?
Is he naked?
Right now, my 50 huskies are my only family. I've got to take care of them.
Oh.
Don't worry about your dogs.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Snake, but this vessel is headed for the Bering Sea. There's
They kill
no
the
room for
dogs?
debate.
I
just-
told you, even if I do owe you, I don't owe anything to this army or this country.
You will accept this assignment.
Why should I be stupid enough to do that? I'm no patriot.
Snake, there's enough dirt in your file from your days as an agent to keep you in the stockade until you're a very old man.
Oh, I see. Blackmail.
No, Snake. I prefer to look at it as helping you come to a decision more easily. But anyway, I know you better than that. You take this assignment even without the threat.
Why do you say that?
You're a natural-born soldier.
Oh,
You're not
bullshit.
the grow old gracefully type. It's the same for all of us who've seen
I
real
hate that.
action. The only place we can feel truly alive is on the battlefield. I'm a soldier too. I know those feelings of powerlessness,
you should consider
frustration
therapy.
that you feel every day. You've tried to play the Boy Scout out there in Alaska, but you can't race dogs in the snow forever. Why don't you come back to us and be a soldier again?
You think my life is some kind of a joke?
Oh,
Snake,
for real.
I just want to give you back your purpose in life.
Your purpose? Oh, that's so manipulative. I hate him. I hate him. Okay, I kind of want to compare the time marks. That was at 19 or 18. Okay, so I don't think that was actually, was that? Because I accidentally pressed X instead of circle. Okay, so we haven't actually watched these yet. But it's not letting me. Wait, why isn't circle doing anything? For whatever reason, it wasn't letting me watch the other briefing videos, so I just pulled up a YouTube video on them to watch them. So we're just gonna go through that, and hopefully that doesn't mess up anything with the game. I don't know. I don't know why the first video and the I guess supposedly it's a hidden one or secret one, kind of, when you exit to the main menu. I don't know why those were able to play and these ones weren't, but oh well. Okay, no, this is the one we already saw. I'm so stupid. Please don't come for me. I want to cry. You know, bad UI, bad UI, bad UX. Like, I just saw it. Because here, the mission description, you click on this one to watch the video. It works. But on these, you're supposed to go over to the side here and then click these individual ones. I thought this was just saying what's in the tape. Like, you would go through the person in charge of the operation. Roy Campbell, Dr. Naomi. Not that you have to scroll over and select it. You can tell I didn't grow up on these games. I am not going to admit how long I spent wondering why this wasn't working. And y'all, it's for me to know and for y'all to not know.
Tell me about the nuclear weapon
Tape number
disposal
2.
facility.
The disposal facility includes a hardened underground base. Even with our most advanced intelligence gathering equipment, we can't tell what's happening inside.
So someone needs to penetrate, gather intelligence, and report back. Sounds like a spy movie. What's the insertion method?
Well, an air insertion is impossible.
Not with this storm going on.
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
Approach?
Yes, within a few miles of it. The facility is equipped with sonar detection capabilities. They'd be able to hear our engine or propeller noise.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV.
Launch?
Same as a torpedo, only this has no propulsion device of its own. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
You want me to swim in sub-zero Alaskan water?
Don't worry. That suit represents the latest advances in polythermal technology. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Okay, so chronologically that was the next one. Oh. Oh, and we unlock other ones. So that was very similar to the dialogue at the start of the game, but it was slightly different.
What's the time limit?
24 hours. They say they'll launch after 24 hours.
Do they say what the target will be?
So far, they haven't mentioned the target.
It's kind of the
When
length
did
of
the
this game,
countdown
right?
start?
20 to
5
30
hours
hours.
ago.
Oh. Dang. Okay. They did, I mean, they got Snake here fast. Person in charge of the operation.
Colonel, who are you speaking for?
Oh,
Naturally, I'm
I can do
representing
stuff.
the U.S. government.
So who's in supervisory control of this operation?
The President of the United States.
Which means that the President must be meeting with his top aides in the map room about now, huh?
No, at this point, they're still video conferencing with each other.
If that's a real nuclear warhead, shouldn't they issue a COG?
Not yet.
I'm not
The
listening.
Secretary of Defense has operational control and is fully aware of the situation.
I'm gonna need to rewatch this.
If you determine they...
Okay, hold on. I'm rewatching this. I was too distracted by being able to move the camera around. I'm just gonna zoom out. I'm gonna zoom out and then that'll be it. Okay. Hands off the wheel.
Colonel, who are you speaking for?
Naturally, I'm representing the U.S. government.
So who's in supervisory control of this operation?
The President of the United States.
Which means that the President must be meeting with his top aides in the map room about now, huh?
No, at this point, they're still video conferencing with each other.
If that's a real nuclear warhead, shouldn't they issue a COG?
Not yet. The Secretary of Defense has operational control and is fully aware of the situation. After you infiltrate, if you determine they possess nuclear launch capabilities, a COG will be issued.
Well, if they haven't relocated to the nuclear shelter under Mount Washington, I suppose there isn't that much reason to worry yet. Is the National Security Agency in on this?
Yes. So is the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency.
The DIA? I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this.
They'll be sending us some support.
We don't need desk jockeys. We need a nuclear weapons specialist.
Of course. A nuclear weapons specialist has already been assigned to us.
At 11. Support crew.
We need backup from a specialist. I'm just an amateur when it comes to nuclear weapons.
I know. That's why I've requested the assistance of a military analyst named Nastasha Romanenko. She'll be providing you backup by codec.
Born in
A
Ukraine.
female analyst?
She's built up an impressive record as an advisor for the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. Contact her if you have any questions. She's also an expert on high-tech weapons.
Where's she working from?
At her home in Los Angeles.
I'm trying to listen and
California.
read. Okay, I'm just gonna listen.
Seems like a million miles away.
Okay, but then I want to go back and read her bio. She's from
We need
Ukraine.
backup from a specialist. I'm just an amateur when it comes to nuclear weapons.
I might not even start the game in
I
this
know.
episode.
That's
Sorry,
why
y'all.
I've requested the assistance of a military analyst
Natasha
named Nastasha
Romanenko, female,
She'll
30,
be providing
Ukrainian,
you backup by codec.
166 centimeters,
A
born in
female
Ukraine.
analyst?
She and her family were showered
She's
by the
built up an
radiation from the
impressive
Chernobyl
record as an
nuclear power
advisor
plant
for the
disaster.
Nuclear Emergency Search Team.
After losing her
Contact her if
parents,
you
who
have any
participated in the
questions.
cleanup at Chernobyl,
She's
she
also
moves to
an
the
expert
U.S.,
on high-tech
joins the
weapons.
DIA, leaves the
Where's she
bureau,
working from?
bureau to become a
her
freelance
home in Los
analyst, writes
Angeles.
for assorted information
California.
magazines and U.S.
Seems like a
naval
million
information
miles
magazines,
away.
attends the something committee, the world's first nationally host nuclear. Okay, just knows a lot. Knows a lot about nuclear weapons. Lost her parents there. Or lost her parents to nuclear radiation.
Colonel, you're retired. Why are you involved in this?
Because there aren't many people who know Foxhound as well as I do.
Is that really the only reason?
I've been soldiering for a long time. I don't know anything else. I guess even though I'm getting a little old, I still love to be in the field.
Is there someone walking in front
you're a
of
lousy liar.
the camera?
Tell me the real reason.
Or like the TV?
Okay, Snake. Sorry. I'll be frank. A person very dear to me is being held hostage.
Who is it?
My niece, Meryl.
Is that... Oh, was that the person that's gonna be kind of helping us? The one who is basically book smart, but didn't have any battlefield experience?
What was your niece doing here?
Several soldiers were reported missing the day of the revolt. And my niece was one of those called in as an emergency replacement.
She looks like you.
She's my little brother's girl. He died in the Gulf War. And since then, I've been watching after her.
Read later.
Personal motive, Colonel. That's not very soldierly.
I'm retired. I'm just an old man now. And I'm your friend.
Since when are we friends?
I've thought of us as friends since the fall of Zanzibar.
With my personality, I don't have too many friends.
That's what I trust about you. It's what makes you human. Please, Snake. Save my niece, Meryl.
All right. But I have two conditions.
Name them.
One, no more secrets between us. I want complete disclosure at all times. And two,
True
I'll only
friends.
accept orders directly from you, Colonel. No cutoffs involved, okay?
Agreed. That's why I was called. But one thing.
What?
Probably after like being
I'm not
betrayed
a
by
colonel
Big Boss and
anymore,
everything.
Just a retired old warhorse.
I understand, Colonel.
So he claims, Campbell claims that Snake is human because he doesn't have many friends. Okay, I have to read the thing. I saw something genetically modified
What was
to
your
not be
niece
attracted to
doing
the
here?
opposite
Several
sex.
soldiers were reported missing the day of the revolt. And my niece
where's
was
the
one
bio?
of those called in as an emergency replacement.
She looks like you.
She's
Silverberg.
my little brother's girl.
Female,
He
18.
died in the Gulf War.
2005, joins
Since then,
this
I've been
exercise as a
watching after
novice,
her.
has no real combat
Personal
experience,
motive,
but has
Colonel.
gone through VR simulation,
That's not very
combat
soldierly.
training, has received
I'm
psychotherapy,
retired.
psychotherapy,
I'm
okay,
just
not
an old
genetic
man
manipulation,
now.
not to be
And I'm
attracted to
your
those of the
friend.
opposite sex.
Since when are we friends?
I feel like remembering that she's 18 is just gonna make me, like, kind of not feel good about certain things that might happen in the game. That's completely just me guessing that. Maybe it'll be fine. I would love to be proven wrong.
That doctor, is she part of this operation too?
She was in charge of Foxhound's gene therapy. She knows more about those men than anyone else.
You mean you've seen them naked?
Make no mistake, I'm not a nurse. I'm a scientist.
By the way, what was that injection for?
It's a combination of nanomachines and an anti-freezing peptide so that your blood and other bodily fluids don't freeze, even at subarctic temperatures.
Nanomachines.
Not just one kind, either. There are different types which will replenish the supply of adrenaline, nutrition, and sugar in your bloodstream.
I wonder if
Now I
that's
don't
how we
have to
battled
worry
the
about
torture.
food.
I also put some nootropics in there.
Say what?
Nootropics. A class of drugs which will help improve your mental functioning.
It'll make me smarter.
Oh wait, this
huh?
is Snake.
Anything else?
Yes. Benzodrine.
Not Campbell.
It's a type of stimulant. It'll keep you alert and responsive for 12 straight hours.
That was quite a cocktail. Anything else in there?
Those nanomachines will also keep your Codex batteries charged up.
Well, I guess I can call you when I'm ready to go on a diet.
You're welcome.
I thought this was Campbell the whole time. But no, they've got the cameras. They've got the different cameras on Snake, who's naked, and in a cell. And then they're just, I guess, talking to Snake through some means. And the different camera angles are just different views of
That
Snake.
doctor, is she
Camera
part of this
C,
operation too?
She
Silly.
was in charge of Foxhound's gene therapy. She
Wait, did
knows
I?
more about those men than anyone else.
You mean you've seen them?
I just listened to that. I'm sorry. I'm just being very. I had a long weekend, and I feel like my brain hasn't been working very well this week, so please bear with me. Hostages.
The chief of DARPA and the president of an
Son
arms
for.
manufacturing company. What business did they have at a nuclear weapons disposal facility?
The truth is that secret exercises were being conducted at the time the terrorist group attacked.
Must be extremely important exercises if those two were directly involved. Were they
Yeah,
testing
okay,
some
so that's
kind
why
of
they
new
were there.
advanced weapon?
I'm not privy to that information.
Do we know exactly where they're being held?
The DARPA chief has also been injected with a mini transmitter. As you get closer, you should be able to pick up his location on your radar.
Okay. Nuclear weapons.
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuclear missile?
They say they do. They even gave us the serial number of the warhead they plan to use.
Was the number confirmed?
I'm afraid so. At the very least, they've got their hands on a real nuclear warhead.
Isn't there some kind of safety device to prevent this type of terrorism?
Yes. Every missile and warhead in our arsenal is equipped with a PAL, which uses a discrete detonation code.
PAL.
Permissive Action Link. The safety control system built into all nuclear weapons systems. But even so, we can't rest easy.
Why not?
Because the DARPA chief knows the detonation code.
But even if they have a nuclear warhead, it must have been removed from its missile. All the missiles on these disposal sites are supposed to be dismantled. It's not that easy to get your hands on an ICBM.
That used to be true. But since the end of the Cold War, you can get anything if you have enough money and the right connections.
Okay. Terrorist armament.
How well
This is
armed are
at
these
11.
terrorists? I know there was an exercise going on at the time they revolted.
They're heavily armed, I'm afraid.
What about their battle experience?
The 6 members of Foxhound in charge are all hardened veterans. They're tough enough to eat nails and ask for seconds.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Foxhound.
The others are next-generation special forces. They're not your average grunts either.
Okay, short. The terrorists demand. Goes back to 6
what
minutes.
exactly are they demanding?
A person's remains.
Remains?
That's right. To be more accurate, cell specimens which contain the individual's genomic information.
Cell specimens? Why would they want that?
The terrorists need them. You see, these next-generation special forces have been strengthened through gene therapy.
Strengthened?
You've heard of the Human Genome Project.
So they want big bosses.
They've been mapping the human genome, and they're nearly finished. Following up on this research, the military has been working towards identifying those genes which are responsible for making effective soldiers.
There are genes that do that?
Yes. And using gene therapy, they're able to transplant those genes into regular soldiers.
Gene therapy?
I'll explain this part. With gene therapy, we can remove those genes which we know may lead to sickness or disease, and at the same time splice in genes with beneficial effects, such as resistance to cancer, for example.
In other words, we can overcome all sorts of genetic diseases, and at the same time add genetic characteristics as desired.
Okay. And so if you knew what genes were responsible for making the perfect soldier, you could implant them in the same way, right?
Yes, we could.
But it all depends on being able to isolate and identify those soldier genes.
And in order to do that, it's helpful if you can study the genomic information of one of the greatest soldiers ever.
That really feeds into kind of the narrative that they had going of like being born to be a soldier, or it being your purpose, it's in your blood. And then I guess they didn't necessarily say that they're not using this splicing to help cure diseases and things. I guess they were talking about splicing out the diseases, but it frames it in a way that feels like they're prioritizing using this science and technology to help boost war, create soldiers rather than other means. But that's kind of just reading between the lines in a way that might not be accurate. Genetic strengthening.
One of the greatest soldiers ever?
The man they call the greatest warrior of the 20th century.
You don't mean Big Boss.
That's right. We've been working feverishly to identify the genes responsible for his incredible combat skill. So far, we've discovered about 60 of the so-called soldier genes.
So his body was recovered after all.
Yes, and his cells have remained frozen in a cryo chamber. His genomic information is a priceless treasure to mankind.
Priceless to the military, perhaps.
His body was burned severely, but it was possible to restore his DNA profile from just a single strand of his hair.
You people are amazing. And then you're gonna transplant those genes into soldiers?
Yes. We'll use a process that I discovered called gene targeting. The strongest soldiers don't become what they are by acquiring their skills through training or experience. We now know that hereditary factors are far more crucial for creating superior soldiers.
Snake, we can't give them his body. It's potentially more dangerous than all the nuclear warheads on that island put together.
I hear the terrorists are calling themselves the Sons of Big Boss.
Wow.
The Sons of Big Boss.
Oh, that's kind of terrifying. Because then you get in the whole thing of social engineering and being able to make the argument of, like, oh, these people are choosing to have this done to them. They want to be soldiers. They're choosing for this to happen. But yet you have to consider how they're persuaded and manipulated and brought up by a society to want that. Wow. Ethics. Next Generation Special Force Unit.
Tell me
Terrifying.
about these next generation special forces.
They started out as an anti-terrorist special ops unit, made up of former members of biochem units, technical escort units, and the nuclear emergency search team. Their purpose was to respond to threats involving next-generation weapons of mass destruction, including NBC weapons.
Until they were added, that is.
Who's they?
These guys didn't start out as regular army.
Looks like a pretty international group. Mercenaries?
Yeah, and it gets worse. Most of them were from a merc agency that I think you're familiar with. They were part of Big Boss's private guard. And after Big Boss went down, the military just bought out all their contracts.
Outer heaven.
After that, they were merged with our own VR unit, Force 21, and retrained. If you ask me, these so-called next-generation special forces should be called simulated soldiers.
It's a
They
wild
have no
choice
real battle experience.
to hire
Video
them.
game players, huh?
Don't forget they've all been strengthened with gene therapy. They carry genes which make them excellent soldiers. Don't get careless just because they don't have much experience.
I mean, VR training
Thought
is
using
very
genetically
effective.
modified soldiers was prohibited by international law.
Yes, but those are just declarations, not actual treaties.
The interesting thing is that nearly every member of the unit conspired in this attack.
Every member of the unit, which kind of shows that somehow the other members were corrupted or manipulated in some way to want this. Because it seems like the group didn't start changing until the ex-members of Foxhound or under Big Boss came in. The reason for unanimous approval.
How could an entire unit be subverted to rebellion?
They're calling it a revolution.
Since they all went through the same gene therapy, they probably felt closer than brothers. They see the unit as their only family.
The Sons of Big Boss. But if they were regular army, they must have been interviewed periodically by army counselors.
According to their files, they all got straight A's on their psychological tests. They all seemed like fine, upstanding, patriotic soldiers.
But they
Nurture
all
versus
took part in the
nature.
uprising?
No, several people didn't show up on the day of the exercise. That's why there was a resupply of troops.
Was there any sign recently that something might be wrong?
There was a report a month ago that they were acting strangely.
Apparently they consulted classified information about the soldier genes and performed their own gene therapy experiments.
They can do that even without you?
Well, our gene therapy process is almost completely automated. And besides that, they're all geniuses with IQs over 180.
Even the existence of this genome army is a national secret of the highest order. We've been hoping to investigate this thing quietly and deal with it behind closed doors.
My mind is exploding right now. This is wild. This is a wild story, and so something to think about. Cool, terrifying, everything. Because you have these people who were genetically modified, presumably by the same genes, and then they all start thinking similarly, wanting the same things, acting similarly. They're super smart, so they're able to do all of these things. It's like thoughts of nature versus nurture, the ethics behind genetic manipulation, and what sort of bounds it would need to have, what it could result in. There's even like thoughts of balance. If they're all smart and strong and all of these things, like super powerful in these ways, but they also all think the same, then there's no balance between them, and that is like the mob mentality of these people who are genetically modified feels like the most terrifying thing. It would be different if they were all intelligent or all had these high IQs, but we're thinking differently. There's just like no balance. There's no balance between it. There's no checks and balances between them. It sounds like they're all turning into hive mind and are also super smart, super strong, and of this soldier gene mindset. Unit Foxhound.
High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of. An elite group combining firepower and expertise. They're every bit as good as when I was commanding them.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter.
Looks like a lovely bunch of folks. Too bad we'll be meeting under these circumstances.
And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound's squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
Yes. And you're the only person who can stand against him.
How was Liquid Snake created? Did they have Snake's genes? I mean, we're about to find out, I believe, but...
Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake. The man with the same code name as you.
Tell me what you know.
He fought in the Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest person in the SAS.
I'll read later.
His job was to track down and destroy mobile Scud missile launching platforms. You were there too, I believe. Didn't you infiltrate Western Iraq with a platoon of Green Berets?
I was just a kid myself back then.
The details are classified, but it seems that originally he penetrated the Middle East as a sleeper for the SIS.
He was a spy for the British Secret Intelligence Service?
But he never once showed his face in Century House. He was taken prisoner in Iraq, and after that there was no trace of him for several years. After you retired, he was rescued and became a member of Foxhound.
I thought that by the time I left, they were no longer using code names.
I don't know his real name. That information is so highly classified that even I can't look at it. Here's
Does
a
Snake have a
photo of
twin
him.
brother?
Pretty shocking, huh? His skin tone is different, but otherwise you two are exact duplicates.
What?
I have a twin?
I don't know the details, but it seems so. That's why we really need you for this mission.
You're the only one who can beat him. Now that I've met you, I know. You've got something that he doesn't. I can see it in your eyes.
Why don't I find that thought more comforting?
Because it's not comforting. It's just completely subjective. I guess from the scientist trained in gene splicing. Okay, I want to go back and read the
Liquid
bio
Snake.
of Liquid
Liquid
Snake.
Snake.
Solid
The man
Snake,
with
Liquid
the same
Snake.
code name as you.
Do we meet
Tell me
Gas
what you
Snake
know.
later on?
He fought in the Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest person in the SAS.
Name unknown.
His job was
30s,
to track
British.
down and destroy mobile Scud
Born in the
missile
US,
launching
moved to England upon
platforms.
birth,
You
works
were
for the
there
British
too, I
Special
believe.
Force SAS to
Didn't you
destroy the
infiltrate
mobile
Western
Scud
Iraq with a
missile
platoon of
launchers in
Green
the Gulf
Berets?
War. During
I
the
was just a
mission,
kid
he
myself
becomes a
back then.
POW
The
of
details are
Iraq and was
classified,
declared
but it
a
seems that
MIA, rescued by the
originally
US government
he
and returns to his
penetrated the
country,
Middle
joins
East as a
Foxhound and
sleeper
becomes
for the
battle leader of the new
SIS.
Foxhound. Has an
He
IQ of
was a
180,
spy
fluent in
for the
7
British
languages,
Secret
such as
Intelligence
English,
Service?
Spanish, French, Malay,
But he
etc.
never once
Speaks
showed his
Arabic
face
like a
in Century
native.
House. He was taken
So,
prisoner in
I mean, that
Iraq,
really shows that he
and
was
after
genetically
that, there was no
modified.
trace of him for several years.
But he was named Liquid
After you
Snake
retired, he was
before all of that.
rescued and became a member of Foxhound.
So the gene splicing or genetic manipulation might not even led to him looking like Snake. It actually could be that they're twins. Okay, we got through the briefing. There's so much information to take in before even starting the game. Holy cow.
I need to borrow your scissors.
What are you going to do?
Don't worry, just gonna clean myself up a little.
Huh?
I don't want to be mistaken for the leader of the terrorists.
Okay, because I was thinking, I was like, I feel like I've seen photos of Snake. I mean, maybe it's because it's from later games. I was like, I thought Snake had short hair. I also kind of thought it was brown. And then when I saw the picture here, I was like, oh, long blonde hair maybe? But that's probably because Snake cuts it then. Okay, there shouldn't be anything here. There wouldn't be anything new. I feel like I really should start the game in this episode, but I also want to try this VR training just to get used to the controls before I actually go in. I know there's going to be tutorial mode, but I haven't played... I haven't really played a game like this, or at least not in a long while, so let's just see what this does. We'll see. I was like, the dialogue was kind of hating on the VR training, but it's helpful. Head for the goal while avoiding the enemy soldiers. Training ends if you are seen. Like, I think this is good for me to try. Because now I'm going to have to remember the commands. Okay, so this is where I can back up against the wall. Is that just me looking into the wall? Why can't I see anything? Okay. Oh, it's because I was like looking out there. So that's first person view. Okay. Then I can be here. First person view. Did y'all know Metal Gear Solid was a horror game? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to do the peek around the wall. Wasn't that with R1? So I'm pretty sure you're supposed to do first person view. Okay, that's something circle. That's like the punch. Square's weapon, but I don't have a weapon equipped. First person view. Crouch, crawl. Okay. Oh, right. I have to press again to stand up. Okay. No! I wonder if it'll be easier to use the D-pad. Oh!
Who's that?
I didn't mean to do that. See, this is why I have to practice. Hi, puppy. My dog is concerned. It's fine. I know, you always get concerned when I start freaking out. I want to practice the looking around the wall. That's what I want to feel out. I'm pretty sure that was with the first person view. Right? So I can like look this way. Oh! Wait, but then they see me? I guess because your head is poking around the corner. I kind of thought that would mean that they wouldn't see you. Cat, it's fine. I know. Go lie down. Go lie down. Lie down. Okay. So. Oh, I can crouch like that. Okay. Yeah, so I guess it just means you can peek around the corner, but you're still gonna be seen. And that kind of shows how it does the back view while you're there. I wonder why I might want to peek around the corner if you get the back view. And I kind of want to know, are they gonna see me? No, they don't go that far. I want to know how the sound affects things. Am I gonna get seen here though? Well, I have to go before it turns around. Before they turn around. Okay.
Impressive, Snake.
Do I have to do all of the stages before I can do the next modes? Yeah, the training modes. You have to get through all of the stages for that? Okay, we're not doing this.
Who's that?
I have my volume up loud too, so especially the noise, it's kind of alarming. Okay. I'm a little nervous to start the game just because I don't want to get caught a long time or in a huge long tutorial and then not be able to save for a while, but what does saving here mean? Oh, I can save my training progress? Nah, we can do that stage 1 again later. But I'm gonna do it. Okay, we're gonna start. I'm probably not gonna play for that long. I know that makes this episode just a big lore video, but, you know, it's the way that it is. It's the way that it is. But, we're gonna start the game. We got all the information. So hard mode is just radar off. Let's stick to normal then, because I want to experience the radar. That feels like it's a part of the experience. So is that just the voice actor? Not Snake's real name? I've already forgotten all of the commands. Not really, but they're not as fresh as I wish they were.
Stay alert. He'll be through here. I know it. I'm going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
So they know I'm coming. Oh, is that Liquid Snake?
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface, but make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
That's
Got
sick.
it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay. We're in it. Oh, the breath. The breath coming out, the ripples. What's that box that looks like a cardboard box? We gotta backtrack. O2. Oh, ration. Is there anything else? Wow, I love that the credits are going right now. I can crouch in the water. I don't think I can, like, swim or anything. No item. My ration, my scope, the SIGs. Okay, maybe, yeah, maybe I should get out of the water before I, well, we're kind of good on oxygen right now. How far, if I fall down there, do I die? We're not that deep in. Let's find out. Oh, I can just walk around here. Can I do anything with these chains? I think circle's the action button. Square was the weapon button. Okay, it looks like there's stairs over there. No, there's like a pathway over there. I think. Okay, I'm gonna re-up on oxygen. Good music. And then I want to... Cigarette. Solid Snake's favorite brand. Smoking is hazardous to your health. Wait, so what's the point of this? To use this in any way? What? It just exists. Magnifying scope. Press circle to zoom in, X to zoom out. Gosh, I'm freaking excited. Just everything about everything that comes together when starting a game or playing a game, like the music coming in, figuring out all the controls, getting familiar with the world for the first time. How far can I zoom? Wow, you can kind of... This is nice. You can zoom good. I thought I was going to have to find this. Oh. And did I wait too long? Of course. The rations for auto healing. I guess I can have that up. But I want to explore everything. I want to go back in the water. I want to go back through the tunnel. I can't. I want to see what's over here. What's happening? Rations. Is that a ladder?
What was that noise?
Oh! Okay. Oh wait, that's because I was on the wall and then I hit against it.
What was that noise?
Yeah. Okay. Noise mode. But it doesn't last very long, though.
What was that noise?
Can I do that and then... I don't think that would actually do anything for me. Because it stops after a little while. Okay. Crawl. Right? Can I crawl under there? Oh, I can! I see. Those must be rations. Oh! There's someone right there. Maybe I should back out of here just in case they see me soon. How do I turn around? There we go. Stay in the shadows. Oh, don't. Watch out. Okay. There's like a cockroach or something. I feel like that person's maybe gonna see me. We got some blocks there. We got that person. Is that the only person patrolling around? Okay. No, there's a couple people. Oh! That's water. They're gonna hear it. Shoot. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Wait, that person's coming around. No! No! Oh! I already suck at this. Ah! No, I'm already bad. Crawl, snake, crawl. Crawl, don't get shot. No! Wait, I'm already so bad at this game. They get you in there early. They put the puddle in there. If you walk through the puddle, they hear it. Of course. I saw it too late. I saw it too late. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Okay, okay. Okay, lesson learned. Oh. They might see me here. So they end up looking through there. I need to be careful of the puddle. But I think I can walk around it. I feel like they're gonna come around there soon. Wait, no, that puddle is like covering the whole thing. But maybe I can go this way? Uh-oh, they're coming through here. Shoot. Oh, there's water! No! 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 Ah! Oh! No, I didn't get the rations! I didn't get the rations. I was so close to getting the rations. This is gonna be difficult. And kind of fun. I can do this. I want to get those. I want to get those. I think I should consider how to... Don't see me, please. How to lure them in with noise. Like do a little wall knock so that they come into a specific corridor. I can play around with that, see what happens. And through there right now. Where are you gonna go? That way? So what if I go here? I feel like if I do that, they're gonna come around this way.
What was that noise?
Oh. Okay, that's because they're alert. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. I think the radar is actually, like, throwing me off more. Can I go this way? No. Whoops. Run! Wait. Changed my viewpoint. Okay, we got the rations. Now we're maxed out. Now we're maxed out. Okay, now we can get to the elevator. And when I get to a new area, that'll be the save point. Okay, so the elevator... The elevator... is just way in the back somewhere. Will they hear me? No. I wonder if each of these are going to feel sort of like a puzzle you have to figure out. I should probably be tracking them a little bit better. Oh! When the camera angle changes view, that makes it a little... It feels a little tricky. Watch out for puddles. Oh, I bet they can pass me. I bet if I go right here, they'll walk past me. Wait, where are they going now? Can I just make a break for it? Maybe I should have looked. Oh, that's a puddle. Oh, it automatically went up. I thought I was gonna have to find controls. Dang, but I wonder if there was something in this back corner that was secret. I should have looked. Leave no corner uncovered. But I mean, I got 2 sets of rations, so like, that's pretty good. Stripping down. Ooh, the brown hair and it's short. No getting mistaken for the terrorist group leader, although it seems like that would have helped in the operation. For, you know, going undercover. Tactical espionage action, Metal Gear Solid. Can I move? No. It's getting hot in here, so take off your wetsuit. So... Does my belt say something? No.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
That took a long time. I guess you're feeling a little rusty.
Don't worry. It's been a while, but it's all coming back to me.
Been a while.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy. I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Diversions.
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea, but it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed. There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, he must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
Come on. I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system.
Are we just gonna be flirting the whole game?
The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision.
Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you.
He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
Where are you going?
If you want to get in, there's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too
Autopilot.
much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
What about the air duct near the door? There should also be a duct on the second floor.
I can't see it from here.
I'll let you decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
Is this how I'm gonna learn all the lingo? Okay, wait, so you can choose. You can choose the best method? That's so fascinating. Okay, 140.96, I believe, was the, Can I go back down? Whoops. Is there a control panel somewhere? Oh, ration! How do I get it? Does it go around here? Secrets, 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 secrets. Oh, I have too many. Wait, how's my life? Oh, wait, I actually need to use... Wait. Did these not auto use? Wait. Is that how much life I have and is it full? Use by pressing circle while menu is open. Oh! Didn't the manual say that rations will automatically get used? Is it when you lose all of your life? Maybe that's the case. Huh. Okay. Well, I know we barely got into the game. So it's kind of a teaser of an episode 1. But I am going to stop it here. Hear me out. Because I want, like, we did the first little part and that felt like a good warm-up. But I want, in this part and moving forward, like, I want to be in it. I want to be in it and know that I'm going to be in it for at least a couple of hours. Versus kind of right now, I don't want to go too much longer. I'm kind of wondering, like, where I should stop. But I want to get in and get immersed and play. So, this did end up being, like, mostly kind of a lore, gathering all the information type episode. But I think that's also going to really pay off for the enjoyment of the game and in the long run, because let me tell you, I've got all the information now. I know who we are. I know what we're doing. I know what the people are. Do I know the controls? Maybe we'll get there. That'll get done later. But I have, like, the background, the history, everything. And I think that'll make every little bit of this game and some of the dialogue and story all the better. So, gonna wrap up there for episode 1, and then episode 2, we are going to really dive in from the gameplay. I'm not sure if it's gonna make me, we'll see what happens, if it'll make me start with that first starting point. It did say after you enter a new area that should be where it saves from, so my guess is that I'm gonna enter in here. I'm also curious if it'll have me go through some of that dialogue again, which I don't think will be the worst thing in the world, because I will get to refresh myself on the different paths that were available, either the front door, which I'm probably not going to do, or the air ducts. I'm laughing because this game is going to be so tough for me because of my curiosity. And I want to know what happens if you just go through the front door method. I think we are going to get a lot of curiosity kills the jam in this game, because I'm just going to, if you give me options, I want to see what happens in all the options, or at the very least, the riskiest one. It's in my blood. I was gene spliced to be that way. Perhaps. No. Okay. If you have a day ahead of you, enjoy the rest of your day. If you have a night or evening, enjoy the rest of your night or evening. And I'll see y'all next time for actually really diving into this game, which I'm so excited about, and I hope you are too, in episode 2. Thanks for being here for episode 1. I'll see y'all next time. Bye. I realized that maybe I should show that I'm actually saving the game. So I dialed 140.96. Mailing, is that what it was? Said, what is it, Snake, after picking up. I have 15 free blocks. The heliport. Complete. Is that for 25 minutes played? And I wonder what that means.
Snake, remember what the Gauls said. The graveyards are full of indispensable men. Snake, you're all alone and surrounded by bad guys. Try to be careful and avoid getting into a fight whenever you can.
You're right. Wow, you know all sorts of great quotes, don't you?
Well, both my parents are from Guangdong, China, but I was born and raised in America. I've always liked reading literature from both sides. Kinda keeps me in touch. I'll share some more quotes with you if you like.
I'm looking forward to it. But to tell you the truth, I'd like to learn more about you.
Well, I'll think about it.
I can't. I can't. Is that gonna happen every time I save? I should save every time I get to a new area. Save always. Save as much as you can. And I wonder if it'll be a new dialogue after every time I save, or after every time I save somewhere where it's in a new area. But if it's gonna be them flirting the entire time, that might be enough to get me not to want to save frequently. No, it'll be amusing. It'll be entertaining. I hope. Okay. Bye, y'all.